I just
Okay.
acquired. All right, good afternoon. Welcome to Price Middle School's Go Team meeting. We will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I'm pleased to call this meeting of Price Middle School's Go Team to order at 4:34 p.m. I will act in the capacity of our first order of business is to appoint an. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. We will start with roll call.
All right, thank you, Mr. Oliver. Dr. Mahan is present. Shanteria Hurd. Sonia Carr. Nikisha Mason.
Present.
William Oliver.
Present.
Myself, Lauren Phillips. Joaquina Winston. And Tanya Young. Tanya.
Present, Tanya Young Rucker.
I apologize, Ms. Rucker. We'll make note of the change on our attendance on our roster. So, Mr. Oliver, we do have an established quorum with 4 members present, 3 members absent.
Okay. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are here. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Would you repeat that, Mr. Oliver?
I just need a second to approve the agenda.
Ms. Mason, are you able to second? I'm not a voting party.
I second. I'm Ms. Mason, second.
Are there any amendments to the agenda? All in favor? If not, all in favor, please say aye or raise your hand so Secretary can record your vote. All opposed,
Aye.
please. All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. Okay. Our second order of business is to approve the previous minutes. This was also provided to you. May I get a motion to approve the previous minutes?
I move to approve the previous minutes.
A second.
I second.
Okay. The previous minutes. I'm sorry. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand so Secretary can record your vote.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain or raise your hand. All right, the previous minutes have been approved. Our next action item is to review events that recently took place in the school calendar.
Okay, I know that we have not met in some time, but I will just highlight some of the things that took place in February with Ms. Phillips' assistance. One of the things that took place in February, we know that it was Black History Month, and we had a Black History Museum
No, I'm in the meeting.
where students presented information. They facilitated and ran that museum in order to highlight things that Black history has contributed to Atlanta. So sports figures in Atlanta, writers from Atlanta, music and how it's impacted Atlanta's history. Am I missing anything, Ms. Phillips?
They also highlighted the different colleges, historically Black colleges and universities. I can't remember if you said the sports teams,
Mhm.
um, and entrepreneurs who
Yes.
have helped to build Atlanta.
Yeah. It was a very, it was very, I was very excited, just trying to get my words to see students so engaged in the learning process. I know that Mr. Swinton, our assistant principal, worked with them, but each time I popped in to see those babies working, they really wanted to know more about what it was they were working on and excited to come up and do the work, more excited to present it. So it was it was good. It was a great experience for the students. We also had Virgin Atlantic, our partnership, STEAM partnership with Virgin Atlantic. Um, they came out in February as well. Ms. Phillips, can you tell us more about that?
Yes, so during the month of February, our students got an opportunity to again, like Dr. Mahan said, go back to the Virgin Partnership. The students continue working on their individual or their group projects. They had an opportunity to hear from speakers and to get those speakers to share, specific information about the different categories for their project. The PBL project is ultimately at the end of the school year, the students will have developed in their groups their own airline. And so each time that Virgin comes to visit, they teach the students about another or more elements of what it takes to run an airline. So the students had an opportunity to hear from those speakers, and then later in the month, at the end of the month of February, we what would traditionally be our Black History, Blacks in Aeronautics conversation was kind of adjusted and a little bit replaced by our by an airport simulation where the students um, got to enter into the media center, which was transformed into what we could say was the airport. They had the in-flight experience where we had a flight attendant to come and go through the safety protocols and just to give them that experience of what it would be like to be on an airplane. But prior to getting to the airplane, they also went through TSA, and we had a TSA agent, actual federal TSA agent, to come and to go through the security from that perspective as well. And then once the students quote unquote landed in Nigeria, because they're currently studying Africa in seventh grade social studies, they did exploration through VR, virtual reality goggles. They had an opportunity to taste the food from or taste food from that area in Africa, and then they also, to tie it back into the airplane um, theme, they built gliders and raced their gliders against other members in their groups. So the students had a very special time. It was very engaging, so much so that we were surprised. We had asked for the news to come, and we were surprised that morning with their presence. And our school was featured on 11 Alive, I'm sorry, Channel 5 News. They did a live broadcast as well as a evening broadcast showing what we had done that day. So some really exciting things happened with our students in our school in the month of February.
Thank you. Mr. Oliver?
I'm sorry. We will now move to the discussion items on our agenda.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Doc.
No, just from strategy to impact, we just want to look back at our strategic plan. Um, I want to start by saying our strategic plan guides the work that we do to support student success. So as we begin planning for next school year, we want to hear from all stakeholders about what matters most to you. And the feedback that comes from these discussions surrounding our student plan or centered based on our student plan, um, we want to determine which areas we should prioritize so that we can continue to strengthen the experience for all of our students. And so, as a reminder, I know it's something that we touched on in earlier meetings in the year, just to kind of give a brief overview of where we were with our strategic plan. I want to bring the 4 parts of our plan and put them in front of you again. So, our first priority is strategic and aligned leadership. Our second priority is making sure that we're providing rigorous and relevant learning for all students every day. Our third priority is galvanizing caregivers and community partners. And then our fourth priority will be organizational sustainability. Any questions about the priorities? Or why they matter? I did not read each of the why they matter to you, but I will leave it here long enough for you to review. Okay, so based on those 4 priorities, which priority matters most to you as a stakeholder? Where should we focus first as a school community? And when I say that, I mean as we start planning for next year. And then what are 2 actions our Go team could support? This should be moving into next year. So that question should have been revised. We just want to talk about what we should prioritize as a Go team, where we should place our focus, and then what steps we can take as a Go team to support moving forward. And we will continue to bring this up we have 2 meetings after this meeting, our last 2 meetings, and just start the planning process regarding what things we want to implement next year to make our Go team stronger and more impactful. So I will pause there. Please let me know if I need to go back to the priority slide, and I will. And then I will remind you of the questions. If we just need to leave it on the priority slide, that's fine.
Yes, Doc, if you don't mind going back to the priority slide. Thank
Okay,
you.
you're welcome. So what should we prioritize as you think about next year? And then thinking about what we can prioritize and
I kind of think that organizational sustainability is a little bit out of
our scope.
our scope. Yes.
Mhm.
Um, and so I feel like our as well as the strategic and aligned leadership, like
Mhm.
we can give recommendations and we have voice to express what our thoughts could be.
Mhm.
Um, but I think more so we as a team should focus on number 2 and number 3.
Mhm.
Um, and when it comes to rigorous and relevant learning for all students every day, just in figuring out how we can um, support that. Like rigorous and relevant learning requires resources, and
Mhm.
it requires for us to ensure that the teachers have what they need to
Right.
ensure that financial resources are allocated in an equitable way, not just on certain, categories, but in
Right.
categories that would support instruction. And then the other thing is to figure out what we can do to increase our number of community partners and
Mhm.
um, and get our caregivers more engaged.
Thank you for that. So Ms. Phillips, 2 and 3 sound like needles that we can kind of move versus 1 and 4. All right. Anybody else?
I say number 3 um, for the Go team moving forward because I feel like it can really be an efficient vehicle of information to the parents in the community. And then the parents and community members and alumni can also be part of that moving vehicle and kind of pushing out, receiving information, um, and using this as more of a forum to get feedback um, and get more just parent involvement.
Absolutely. I know one of my priorities is making sure that we have more than enough people, not only the people that are officers on the Go team, but more people to come and engage in the Go team, whether they are an official voting member of the Go team or not, and just have more voice. So thank you for that feedback, Mr. Oliver. Anyone else? If silence means that you agree with 2 and 3, then thumbs up. I can see a thumb.
Yes, I agree.
I agree. Yeah, I was just about to say
Okay.
something. I agree as well.
Okay. So right now, and we may end up as we talk more about what this looks like, we may prioritize one of those over the other. We may end up landing on 2 or 3 or 2 for a period of time while we're able to address some of that, while we're able to address what we can address and then move to 3. So let's capture both of them, Ms. Phillips.
Yes, ma'am, I have it.
Thank you. And so I think that answers the second question as well. You all can correct me if I'm wrong, but where should we focus first as a school community when we're talking about next year? I think we answered that. We felt like 2 and 3 mattered most as a stakeholder right now, and then that will be our focus. Are there any action steps that you can think about that would support our focus right now during this meeting? Or is that something we want to table as we go into the next meeting?
I think the only, I don't know if it'll apply to this meeting, but just marketing the Go team to parents, um, giving them more information about what it is, maybe during our open houses or academic expos, um, having a goal to have at least 2 parents sign up or something like that to kind of put it more out there, put the platform out there a little bit more.
Okay.
I was thinking the same thing, Ms. Oliver. Just marketing more, advertising more to get the parents involved and get their input as well.
I think we can revisit our idea that we had earlier this school year about having the homeroom parents. We did have a couple of parents who have committed to doing so. So I think we can start there and grow that list of parents, and they could advocate on behalf of other parents as well.
I agree too. I think even maybe having like with the if we really fully commit to the homeroom parents, those 1 or 2 parents per homeroom, having like an initial like kickoff meeting with them and kind of making that calendar with them so they know, all right, prioritize these days moving forward.
So having more information. So my question was going to be just, because we put it out there that this is what we wanted to do. And it was something that stemmed from Ms. Phillips and on the Go Team call. And then it really didn't take off. I think that, I don't know whether it was because, I don't know what the reason was. So I don't want to put anything out there, but from the teacher lens, Ms. Mason and Mr. Oliver, what was a challenge or barrier? Like once Ms. Phillips provided clarity about what that role would entail, was it just that we had too much on our plate, we didn't go back? What do you think a challenge or barrier was so we don't make the same mistake again?
For me, I think it was just I will admit too much on my plate. I think the timeline of inviting them as well. Like I said, I think if we committed like early on in August, like,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to be a homeroom parent? This is the role entails. We'll have X, Y days you could come in, like really, I guess like hype it up.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't want to say make it like elementary style when they have elementary style
Mm-hmm.
parents, they're homeroom parents, but in a way like that. Um, just so that the parents kind of prioritize the role a little bit more.
Okay. That's good feedback. Anything to add, Ms. Mason, or do you agree?
No, I definitely agree with Mr. Oliver. At the beginning of the year, just I don't know, putting more intention behind it. I think the year kind of just ran off with just getting instruction in and
Mm-hmm.
just starting the year off. So, but we talked to parents in the beginning of the year, but the conversation, we didn't have that conversation like when we did our initial meeting with them. So starting it like literally when we do our introduction phone calls, then maybe that would, you know, increase the level of engagement and consistencies. And like when we do our maybe check in, I don't know, because we call parents every 4 weeks anywho. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I don't know, checking in the first month or the first 2 months just to kind of reiterate that we have a Go team, that we're looking for parents to be a part of the Go team. So just early on, and I think being more intentional behind making that time to literally talk to parents about Go Team would help. That was definitely a
Okay.
challenge, just making sure that it wasn't early on, and then I'm being honest, I wasn't as consistent with um, marketing.
Yeah. So timing.
Yes,
So
definitely timing.
Mm-hmm.
thank you for that.
I would say, Doc, I think because I know the priority, I mean, the question also kind of focused on what can we do for the remainder of this year. I think
Yeah.
we can revisit that conversation with the whole staff,
Mm-hmm.
specifically our sixth and seventh grade teachers and support staff to identify which students or which parents have been kind of consistent throughout the year and just getting a list of those names. Just strictly just give me a list of those names and we'll start with those parents at the beginning of next school year. And then maybe even reach out to the fifth grade team to figure out if we can collect a list of those parents as well, of incoming parents.
Okay. Thank you. That's a good idea. Anything to add before we close out? Again, we will revisit this and we'll, continue this conversation as we have 2 more meetings. And we'll finalize and talk about what we're doing to close out this year, as well as how we want to and solidify how we want to begin the next year in order to achieve our goals and focusing on these 2 areas. Anything else? Okay. Mr. Oliver?
Sorry, I got kids sleeping. We will now move on to information items. The first is the principal support.
Okay, I don't have this on the information item agenda, but I wanted you all to be aware of where we are currently with our enrollment. We're at 231. So we're still as many students as we receive. We seem to be losing a student to it's 1-to-1, trade-off. And so we're still hovering around the same number and trying to increase our enrollment as we go into next year. Other
Oh,
announcements. Making sure that we have the correct dates for the final 2 Go Team meetings. I think everyone here was on the call when we made the decision, and invites have been sent out. But just as a reminder, our next meeting will be next week. We have 2 in the month of March. So the 25th, we will meet again and continue this discussion. So come with more ideas. And then our last meeting will be April 15th. All meetings will be held at 4:30 on this link. Is there anyone who has not met Go Team requirements with their training. Anybody having issues with that?
Rucker has not met.
Okay, so we need to make sure that we are meeting those requirements as well. And I will follow up with you all individually. I know, Ms. Mason, you did yours. Mr. Oliver, you said yes? Or not sure?
I'm not sure. I have another training I need to do.
Okay, what I'll do is there is a report. And so I'll just make sure that I access that report from the Go Team office. And I'll let you all know what things need to be done before we close out this year. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, Mr. Oliver. Mr. Oliver, I would like to leave.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to get these kids out too. I'm sorry. Do we have any announcements?
No, I did go ahead and proceed
Okay.
to the announcements. I'm sorry.
We have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time?
Just to let you know, we did not have any public comments, so none reported.
Okay. Any other business at this time? May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I moved to adjourn this meeting.
A second.
I second.
All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, please raise your
Aye.
hand. Any abstentions, please raise your hand. Okay, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you all.